What's up, guys? Maestro Megatron here. Welcome back to the damn channel. I'm a little late on this. I've been revisiting and re-reviewing the Halloween movies of the past. I'm a little bit late. Hasn't been a very good day for the Maestro Megatron, but I got all my ducks in a row now. So now it's time to revisit and re-review Halloween 2 from 1981, 42 years later. And let me tell you something. I'll just go ahead and get this out of the way right now. This is my absolute favorite Halloween movie and my absolute favorite sequel in the franchise, Halloween 2 from 1981, 42 years later. So this is going to be a real treat for me to revisit and re-review Halloween 2, 1981, directed by Rick Rosenthal, produced by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. They didn't want to take the directorial responsibilities in this one, so they let Rick Rosenthal direct it, but John Carpenter still did the music with Alan Howarth, and they produced it, executive producer role and all that shit. What's up, Anthony? Believe me, you don't know what death is. Oh, yeah, there's so many quotes I'm going to be quoting about this review. Yes, Asylum, you are finally early, and I am really late getting into this review. I apologize, guys. It hadn't been a very good day. I wasn't feeling good earlier, but I'm okay now. I got a little bit of the bubbly, and we are going to, and as promised, we are going to re-review and revisit Halloween 2 from 1981. Like I said, directed by Rick Rosenthal. John Carpenter and Deborah Hill just took producing duties on this one, and John Carpenter actually wrote it. He didn't even want to do it. He didn't even want to write it. He said it took him a six-pack of Budweiser a night to write this sequel because he wanted to do other projects. He didn't want to mess with Michael Myers anymore, but damn it, I'm glad he did because we got the best damn sequel in the franchise from it. Jay Gregory, this is going to be the last live stream I'll probably be on time to see. They got me working night shift. Oh, man. I'm sorry, Jay. Well, I mean, I guess you always get to go back and rewatch it, hopefully. Yeah, I know how new jobs are, trust me. I got you. Amazing Grace, come sit on my face. I cannot lie, I need your pie. Hey, why don't you just shut up? What are you all ripped up about? That could have been Ziggy, that could have been your brother Mark we pulled out of there. Okay, college boy, what do you want me to do? Huh? Listen, rule number one, get involved with a patient. Nurses, now that's a different story. But patients, it never works out. I'm telling you, listen, old bud. Yeah, we're going to have some fun with this revisit, guys. What's up, Sebastian Way? Everybody start hitting the like button as you're coming on, please. Help the little algorithm, this little channel get a little bit bigger and stronger, guys. But once again, I am the Maestro Megatron. I'm starting to get my moderators and subs on here, and we are continuing the fad that we've been doing, the ebb and flow, if you will, of revisiting and re-reviewing past Halloween movies. Tonight, like I said, Halloween 2 from 1981. 42 years later. And once again, this is my favorite Halloween movie in the franchise. This is my favorite sequel in the franchise. My favorite Michael Myers in the franchise. Dick Warlock comes in to take the part of Michael Myers in this movie. He was a stuntman for Carpenter and Kurt Russell's stunt double for Escape from New York and Big Trouble in Little China and The Thing and so forth and so on all those years. I love the character of Bud too, played by Leo Rossi. And we were just doing the Amazing Grace scene that Sebastian brought up. The other paramedic who plays in it is Lance Guest, who plays Jimmy, who later on plays in The Last Starfighter, who was directed by Nick Castle, who played the original Michael Myers, The Shape, in the original Halloween in 1978. Tell me, what's the frickin' odds? Yeah, Bud was hilarious. Bud has some good scenes. Pissed his girlfriend off all the time. Still got her in the therapy room tub. Pissed all the other nurses off. He was a vulgar, perverted piece of crap asshole is what he was. Yes, Dick Warlock. I agree with you, Asylum. Dick Warlock. He gets a lot of hate for his movements being slow and robotic, as they call it. But I love it because let me explain to you why I love a slow moving Michael Myers that Dick Warlock did. I'll tell you why. The guy has been stabbed in the neck, stabbed in the chest, shot 6 times. He's full of lead, fallen off a balcony, 2 stories, hit the ground. The way Dick Warlock plays him moving slow, he's full of bullets and lead. He's been shot, stabbed, fallen off the balcony. He's going to move slower. And I think that's what Dick Warlock had in mind. And it just freaking works for me. It's scary as shit the way he moves slow. He doesn't run. To me, that's more terrifying. So it works for me. I love Dick Warlock. I know his face is a little bit fatter than Nick Castle, so it stretches out the mask, but that doesn't bother me either. He gets a lot of flack for that. The mask looks terrifying, and a lot of the shots in Halloween 2, him coming out of the shadows, and the certain lighting and the red light that reflects on his mask outside when Laurie escapes and hides in the car in the parking lot. Just some really good shots of the mask in part 2. It's cold out there. It can get cold in here. Gotcha. Bud has to be Axel's brother. Yeah, I can I can agree with you on that one. Bud was just smoking some bud. Yeah, he was in the cafeteria lounge in the hospital, sparking up a roach right there, right in the hospital. He did not give a damn. You'll be all right, Jay Gregory, but yeah, it sucks to start a new job. Just tell yourself the master stretched out when he hit the ground. Yeah, you were bringing that up the other night. That was cracking me up, Anthony. Yeah, he hits the ground and the mask goes. His face is swollen from all the times of being shot and hitting the ground. So he's concussed. So his skull and his face swelled up, and that's why the mask looks so stretchy and shit. Everybody's like, yeah, whatever. Sebastian, this was the last time the mask looked decent. Absolutely. It's the last time they used the original mask. I think Dick Warlock has the mask, and he has the Elrod knife for when he goes, just walks into Mr. and Mrs. Elrod's knife. Mr. Elrod? Mrs. Elrod? Are you okay? Hey, Harold, you want mayonnaise on your sandwich? How about mustard? Are you asleep again? Asylum. The walk is good, but only when he's creeping on someone and being extremely sneaky. But when he's chasing Laurie, it kind of annoyed me. But he walked overall solid. Yeah, it annoys a lot of people when he's just walking during the chase scene. But like I said, it didn't bother me too much. What's up there, Giga Chat, man? Welcome to the live stream. Sorry I'm so late, guys. It's been kind of a weird day. I haven't been feeling very good. I slept most of the day, but I felt good enough to go ahead and, as promised, revisit Halloween 2 from 1981, 42 years ago. That wasn't me, that was my neighbor. The mask now that's rotted looks creepy. Yes, that's another reason why I like the mask in part 2 of 1981 so much, because it's been aged and rotted and became victim of the atmosphere and all that. So yeah, it was all grunged up and dirty looking and just fucking spooky looking. Michael should have kept the knife. The scalpel was distracting and weird. Yeah, I never quite understood that. And a little fun fact for you, the scalpel that Dick Warlock was carrying around for most of the movie was nothing but a stick with an eraser glued to the tip of it. Pretty amazing shit there. So it wasn't even an actual scalpel. There must be a lot of weight in your back. Nice guy was striking weird. Do you prefer the Warlock over? Yes, I prefer. Trust me, I love Jay Gregory or Asylum. I love Nick Castle. The way he floated and basically floated on air as Michael Myers and his movements and talk and the way he turned for the camera. I love Nick Castle. He'll always be forever the OG Michael Myers, the OG shape. But I love Dick Warlock better. I think he's much scarier. I think he does it better. I love Dick Warlock's portrayal of the shape. It became a victim to Deborah Hill's damn pot smoke. Yeah, I've seen documentaries for years on that shit. Her chain smoking of pot and cigarettes had ruined because she had it underneath her bed for 3 years after original Halloween. So yeah, time didn't treat the Michael Myers mask very well. Jay, watch out. Jason might be taking a cruise to Vancouver. Oh shit. Yeah, you might want to watch out for that. In fact, I think Jason has been outside. Yeah, Anthony, I seen your video earlier. It's either Pumpkinhead or Jason outside your house right now. I don't know, bro, but either way, you better be careful and be ready for anything, and definitely sleep with the doors locked tonight. That's for sure. It's just Lee hiding from his wife. Go on home, Lee. Go on home. I'll take it from here. I am a big Nick Castle fan, but after rewatching, I think Dick Warlock is in my top 3 for sure. Good deal, Mr. Sebastian Way. Anthony Mask wouldn't have done better in John Carpenter's house. No, he was a chain smoking, belligerent, cokehead idiot too. So it was either Deborah Hill's house under her bed or John Carpenter's house under his bed. Hopefully the underwater welders will see him before I do. Yeah, that ain't no shit. Oh, Jay Gregory. Part of me would like to see the touch up the mask, but every time I watch the movie, I love how it's dirty. It looks more evil, and now I'm starting to hate the Blumhouse. But yeah, Blumhouse in 2018, I thought the mask was pretty good, but in the other sequels, when it was burned up or scorched to his face and all that bullshit and shot on the side of it, yeah, I just was like, nah, it's just not doing anything for me anymore. Sebastian, his slow robotic walk seals him being supernatural. In the first, he kind of feels like a man. Yeah, that's a good example. You get more of the supernatural feeling in Halloween 2, 1981, as he walks slow and robotic, as people call it. But I just think it's creepy, and I think it's scary as shit the way he walks slow. Yeah, like Sebastian said, it makes him feel more supernatural than man in part 2. So yeah, I totally agree with you, Baz. But yeah, this, in my personal opinion, this sequel from 1981, Halloween 2, is the most clever, well-written sequel, just my opinion, guys, in the Halloween franchise. It takes place on the same night. They pick up at the same spot. There is a little continuity problems, but that's okay. I look past them and I just enjoy the movie as a whole. So yeah, it takes place in the same night. Loomis is on the trail of Michael Myers. Myers gets up from after getting shot 6 times. I shot him in the heart. He gets up after getting shot 6 times from the balcony, and he hides in the alleys. And you get some good POV views of him walking in the alley and lurking around and hiding from Loomis. Because, of course, we all know the scene where Loomis runs back into Sheriff Meeker after he shot him, and he's like, I shot him 6 times! I shot him 6 times! This man, he's not human! Well, he couldn't have gotten very far. Come on. So he goes into Mr. and Mrs. Elrod's house, grabs a new knife, drips blood like a bastard on her ham sandwich that she's fixing for her and her husband, who didn't answer if he wanted mayonnaise or mustard, because he's asleep again. She turns around, sees the knife's gone, sees the blood on her ham sandwich, and screams. So the stupid, dumb bitch neighbor that lives next door comes out. Mrs. Elrod? Mr. Elrod? Are you okay? Hey, what's up, J. Thor? Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. My favorite thing is waking up the bed. The shot of Myers looks badass. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that is a damn good shot when he finally finds her room and she stuffs the pillows under the covers and he's about to stab the shit out of her. Giga Chad, man, the best car explosion, yes, and best human being combustion as well. Best car explosion, and Ben Tramer took one for the team. Best human body combustion as well. Ben Tramer, who is mentioned in the first original Halloween, who Lori wanted to go to the dance with, Ben Tramer's not going to be dancing anytime soon anymore because he gets hit by a police officer because he is mistaken for Michael Myers, by Dr. Loomis because Loomis at this point is seeing everybody as Myers. He's starting to get obsessed. The police officer slams into him, crashes into a news van. Car explodes. Ben Tramer up in flames. Plus, he's crushed between the car and the news van. And here's another new fun fact for you about Halloween 2. The police officer that hits Ben Tramer, catches him on fire and blows up, that is actually Dick Warlock, who plays Michael Myers. If you look really close, the cop that comes stumbling out of the car who hit Ben Tramer, that is Dick Warlock playing that part. So you got to look real close. After watching Halloween 2 again, I would love to see some Sam Hain elements in the show. Me too. I mean, it's not enough. It's just not enough for me that Loomis talks about it after Nurse Marion Chamber, who comes back and reprises her role, and he's picked up by the dumbest, the biggest dummy U.S. Marshal in the history of U.S. Marshals, which we'll get to that later. But yeah, he's a big dummy. But he talks briefly on the Sam Hain aspect of Halloween, and I'm with you, Asylum. I wish they would have talked about it more. Ben was saved from JLC. Yes, I consider Ben Tramer getting off easy for getting slammed up against the news van and blowing up. In 78, we seen Michael without the mask throughout the day, but the hardware store was robbed in the evening. I think Ben Tramer did it, and he was wearing a stolen mask. You know what? I've had a lot of theories on that myself, Anthony. I really do believe that it was Ben Tramer that took the Halloween mask, some rope, and a couple of knives. Who do you think it was? And he shouts, too. It's tough living with a cynical father. Yeah, I'm with you, Anthony. I think it really was Ben Tramer. What's up, Polly? Good to see you. Welcome back to the live stream, man. It's been a while. Welcome back. We are talking about Halloween 2, revisiting Halloween 2, 1981, 42 years later. Am I the only one that want to be in empty Erie Hospital in the Halloween season at night? No, because I was actually in an empty Erie hospital last month. It reminded me of Haddonfield, the Haddonfield, Illinois clinic. Trust me, Haddonfield Memorial Clinic. Ben Tramer trick-or-treating at 18 is weird. Well, they did say he was drunk, remember? Thor H281 is best sequel for sure. It feels like it's the same movie as H1. Some of the things they did was a bit cheesy, but I like 10 million more times over than any other sequel. I as well, J. Thor. It is my favorite sequel in the series and my favorite Halloween in the series. I wish they could at least tried to repaint the mask. Yeah, I often wondered that myself, Jay Gregory, but for some reason they just thought to go with it all dirty and wore out and pot smoke filled from Deborah Hill's house. Yes, Mr. Polly. Polly is back. He's giving us the thumbs up. We were hoping you were okay. Haven't seen you in a while. You obviously had to take a break, but we hope you're nice and refreshed and ready to roll. So anyways, the next door neighbor, Mr. and Mrs. Elrod, comes out. And she runs back inside. She had apparently been in a phone call with one of her friends, which is Nancy Keys' voice over the phone. Another fun trivia fact for you of Halloween 2. She plays the voice of on the other end of the phone of the neighbor from Mr. and Mrs. Elrod's house, who played Annie in the original Halloween. And she's like, where's your parents? They are gone for the night. My dad decided to drive my Aunt Ruby to Hardin County, and my mother decided to go with them. And she's like, well, that kind of sucks because 3 kids got killed down the street on Orange Grove. That's just right down the street. You hear the sirens, and they said the guy got away. The mass murderer got away. So that sucks for you. Her name was Alice. That's why. Now the 2018 hate H2. Of course they do. Of course they do. If Rob Zombie, 2018 fanboys are just brainless fucking morons. If Rob Zombie did Ben Tramer, he would have had a ridiculous beard for his age and flipping the car off as it hit. Yeah, no shit. I'm doing great. Just wait until Halloween. Yes, we've only got 2 days left, guys, and I'm excited and depressed at the same time. It sucks, guys. One thing I noticed this is the one where Michael doesn't use a kitchen knife at all. I don't think he uses it on Alice. I was fixing to get to that. The neighbor that's next door that's calling for Mr. and Mrs. Elrod. She had already told Annie over the phone. It's Nancy Loomis. Told her that the parents are there, and she said, "That's too bad. They just found some bodies down the street from your house." Blah blah blah. And then she turns around, hears a noise, and her front door's open. After just hearing the news that they found three teenagers dead and got their asses stabbed off, and that the guy got away who did it, she, instead of running back out the back door like she did checking on Mr. and Mrs. Elrod, she goes toward the front door that's wide open now, mysteriously, and says, "Who is it?" She was a big dummy too. She was a dumb. And then one of the coolest scenes with Dick Warlock, one of the coolest kills is Dick Warlock leaps out from where he was and it stabs her right in the neck. Psh, blood splurts on her face and everything. So good kill with the kitchen knife is where I was getting at on that one. Yeah, use the carving knife on Alice. Yes. This is the only sequel that fits alongside the original 2018. Can suck it. Yes, I totally agree. Sebastian Way. Fun fact, the kid that was holding the radio was Dick Warlock's son. Yes, Billy Warlock, who later on was on General Hospital and was on Baywatch. Billy Warlock. Yes, that was Dick Warlock's son. Yeah, he used the carving knife on Alice. I would have wondered what the burnt version of H2 Michael Myers mask would have looked like. Yeah, that ain't no shit. The front would be totally gone. Yeah, but not a butcher knife like he used in the other films. That is correct. I just got done watching Five Nights at Freddy. What you think about it, Mr. Polly? I was thinking about watching either today or later on today, because tomorrow is today. I was thinking about watching it later today or on Halloween. J. Thor, it still kills me how an H2O Myers somehow grew his eyes back and had no burns. Well, same with part 4 too. The parts 4, 5, and 6, he's got both eyes on that, but that just goes back to the supernatural aspect of Michael Myers. Same with Jason. You've heard the tales of Jason in Friday the 13th, that he has the ability to grow back lost or damaged tissue. So I kind of look at it the same way with Michael Myers. But for some, the scalpel looks right. Like I said, it was a stick with an eraser glued to the end of it. I don't know how we never noticed that, but I guess that's camera action, camera magic for you. Have the NEC Halloween 2 Michael Myers mask, but I have him displayed holding the chef's knives. Came one of the Jason, one of the chef's knives. I think it was Michael. Oh, okay, got you, Anton. It's okay. Could have been better. All right, Polly. That I've heard mixed reviews about Five Nights at Freddy's, so that's doable. I was gonna watch Five Nights, but a ton of YouTubers are saying it's average at best. I'll wait. The professor said it's not scary like the game. It's just kind of like an intense action thriller. So if you go into the mindset of that it's like Willy's Wonderland, which is a great flick with Nick Cage, then yeah, you should appreciate Five Nights at Freddy. I wish I had that ability. Me and you both, J. Thor. If I got shot in the eyes, I wish they could grow back. I wish lost tissue that's been damaged on my body would grow back like Jason and Michael. That'd be badass. I always come back Springtrap, like Jeremy Johns and the other big time YouTube. Oh, so they're giving it wishy-washy reviews, I see. And it was Dick's son Lance who was in H2. I'm positive Dick mentioned it. I thought his son was Billy Warlock, who played on Baywatch and in General Hospital, but I could have been wrong. I could have gotten some false information through the decades. Myers fan biggest negative is the hospital setting in the score. That's where it's my favorite. The hospital's dark, shadowy, dark undertones. The music and the score in the hospital is freaking phenomenal. The music in Halloween 2 is freaking scary as shit, man. I love it. Anthony, hopefully Five Nights will at least be a nice getaway horror film for some people. That's kind of how I'm looking at it, Anton. We need another Halloween movie set in a hospital. I was hoping that'd be Kills. Hope we see it in the series. Me too. Hospital settings are creepy in general. Sebastian's exactly right, and I can attest to that. I was in a hospital for 3 weeks, and yeah, you hear some creepy ass shit at night. especially when you know that people are dying or having heart attacks or strokes in other rooms. Jay, the only thing that grew back is the piece of bone that broke off when I broke my finger. Well, at least that grew back, Jay. Myers fan inexplicably doesn't like the hospital setting or the music. That's because the Myers fan, very, not inexplicably, but very explanatory wise, is a big dumbass. Billy is a son too, but pretty sure it was Lance in H2. Okay, gotcha. All right. So now, see, you taught me something I did not know. I thought he only had one son. It was Billy Warlock from Baywatch and General Hospital, but that's some interesting facts there, Mr. J. Thor. Anthony, no, he doesn't. Maestro, you play a better Lori than JLC herself. Yeah, if you guys see my little short videos and stuff I was making while I was on my deathbed in the hospital, that's got to show you I'm a dedicated YouTuber. When I was on my deathbed in the hospital, I kept making the little short clips of me being in the hospital with the Halloween H2 music in the background. So yeah, I was definitely a better JLC than that little hag herself. But Meyer fan still puts it at the number 2 spot. Oh, no shit. See, I didn't know that. H2 was one of my favorite horror movies. I'm hoping the reboot starts from H2. Me too. I would love to see that. Either from H2, 1981, or from Part 5 from 1989. But yeah, this good topic of discussion so far. We're revisiting Halloween 2 from 1981, 42 years later. So he kills Alice with the Mr. and Mrs. Elrod's knife. And he goes walking some more off into the darkness. Loomis and the sheriff are still looking for him. They're driving in the car together, and Sheriff Brackett's just pissed off at this point because he's sick and tired of Loomis and not seeing if Myers really exists. And he's like, "How long now?" "About 30 minutes. Put a light down there by those trees." "He just isn't there." "Well, keep going." "You know, doctor, I'm just about there." What are you talking about?" "The point where I stopped taking orders from you." "Whatever you want, Sheriff. The primary concern is that we stop him." "You let him out." "I didn't. He's got a bullet in him." "I didn't let him out." "His own damn doctor. Did you put that thing away?" H2's and hoping I need to do a picture of Biden sniffing. Yeah, because she probably enjoys that like Dave McRae does. Or not Dave McRae, but Drum Dums, Dumbass. I love the part when Lori is running. Michael pops up under the red light. Yeah, I was bringing that up. The mask and some of the lighting in Halloween 2. If you notice, there's a lot of red lighting and a lot of green lighting. When we'll just go ahead and get that part out of the way real fast. The part where Lori gets back out of the car in the parking lot when she actually escapes the hospital the first time. And she's trying to get in the door after she sees the U.S. Marshal and Nurse Marion Chambers and Dr. Loomis go back in the hospital. She's banging on the door. Michael comes out of the corner of another building, and red light is just reflecting off his mask, and it just looks freaking badass. Myers fan is so aggressive. You ask him a calm but friendly question, he will lash. Yeah, that's because he's. I can't. I'm not going to say that online. I'll get kicked off YouTube. But he's got issues. He's got problems. He doesn't know how to talk to people. He doesn't know how to do videos. Like I said, it blows my mind how he's got over 5,000 subs. I really will never be able to figure that out, and I can't understand it. Yeah, you ought to. That's a good idea, Anthony. Yeah, listen to Sebastian. Listen to old Sebastian. I forgot this movie had the little angry mob in this 10 times better and realistic. Yeah. It's where Deputy Hunt, Dr. Loomis pull up to the old Myers house. They're throwing rocks at the house, and Deputy Hunt gets on the radio and goes, "Yeah, bring another squad car. The old Myers house, 35 Lampkin Lane. This is a wake. One of the numbers have been butchered." So many good lines, iconic lines from Dr. Loomis in Halloween 2. Yes, the part where he appears under that red light is sick. Hell yeah, Jay Thorne. But maybe Michael was open for some freaky stuff being in the red light district of Haddon. Yeah, you never know. Roxanne didn't turn off the red light for Michael Myers, apparently in part 2. If you know what I mean. Asylum, his spirit animal is a little 12-year-old. Oh, what's your favorite kill? Dick's fave kill is the hot tub kill, and it's not the reason you think. Okay, gotcha. My favorite kill in Halloween 2, 1981, is where he sneaks up behind the nurse and stabs her in the back with the scalpel and lifts her up off the ground for like 10 feet and just holds her there. He shows his supernatural strength. I love that kill. And then she falls, her claws fall off, and then she falls to the ground. That's my favorite kill in H2 1981. Halloween 2 made third shift a literal kill. Yeah, you got that right. Good God almighty. That's one good way of looking at it, Anthony. So yeah, anyways, Loomis and Sheriff Brackett continue to drive around looking for Myers, and they see poor drunk ass Ben Tramer with a mask that looks very similar to the Michael Myers mask, but it's not. Ben Tramer's drunk and scared and panicked, so he starts walking away. Then Dick Warlock, as the police officer, slams into him in the car, gets caught on fire and blows up. And then you hear you hear Sheriff Brackett, "Is it him? Is it him? Is it him or not?" Then Deputy Hunt gets that. This is one of my favorite parts of the movie. One of my favorite lines, the way it's portrayed. Deputy Hunt shows up. He said, "Lee, they found 3 more kids across the street from the Doyle house. Lee, one of them was Annie." He grabs him. "What? Come on, I'll drive." Cracks me up, man. Well, one problem I have with the pacing, but it's paid off when you get that badass ending and he stopped breathing. Oh yes, I totally agree with you on that one. Yeah, that's the part with the big dumbass U.S. Marshal. It's great to be back. I was upset at first, but I got over it because that's what grown folks do. But I'm glad to be here. By the way, when's that the Muckberg? And we're glad nobody was upset with you. We're sorry you were upset with us, Mr. Polly, and water, all the water completely under the bridge. And I am going to do a Big Mac muck bag here pretty soon. I said I wanted Danielle Harris to come back, and he typed this. No! Oh, God. He's such a... God, I want to say so much, but I can't say it on YouTube. He's a dumbass moron. They weren't concerned with the van full of explode. No, they weren't. They just... Damn van sitting there on fire, and I'll Sheriff Brackett say, "Is it him? Is it him or not?" Like a little spoiled brat that got the wrong toy. Yeah, and that, okay, I could probably get away with that. His mind is like the mind of a child. Myers fan 25. He's ridiculous. Again, I don't know how he's got over 5,000 subs. His videos are shit. They're boring. He can't talk effectively. He thinks he can, and just boring ass videos, man. News van that was obviously filled with nitro, lots of nitro. That van went up. The TV show sucked. I need to go see the new Saw movie. Yeah, I want to see Saw X myself. Is it him or not? So another cool part after that scene is they show up to across the street from the Doyle's house to find Annie's dead body, which is Sheriff Brackett's daughter, which we found out in the first Halloween, the original. And they actually do show Nancy Loomis laying on the gurney dead, and he closes her eyes with his hand, and Sheriff Brackett being all upset, and the press goes, "Well, I guess I better go and tell my wife before somebody else does." And Deputy Hunt, who's played by Hunter Von Leer, which I talked about last night, says, "Go on home, Lee. Go on home. I'll take it from here." Damn you. What have you done? I haven't done anything. You let him out. I didn't let him out. I gave orders for him to be restrained. Love that part. Just more of the good continuity of Halloween 2 that mixes in with the first original Halloween. It's crazy he talked down on Danielle Harris coming back to franchise, but had a friend to ask. Yeah, I had a message Danielle Harris and tell him about that shit too, Jay. Yeah, Myers fan 25 is the cure for insomnia. For sure. The Halloween 2 television version, I mean. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, it adds a lot of extra parts, a lot of deleted scenes, makes it longer for the TV duration. But yeah, it's not as good as the original theatrical version. He's a damn man child. That's all I'll say. And that's the best way I can put it too. He's just a man child. He like you said. He's that coat. He's the couch ogre that never leaves the couch, and he's ugly as shit. You feel bad for Loomis in this because he starts being blamed everyone, and he felt responsible for Ben Tramer's death. That's a good point, Sebastian. Yeah, it's cold as shit here. That's why I'm inside. That's why at the very end of Halloween 2, when they're pulling all the oxygen hoses and getting it filled up with oxygen and ether and all that, a highly explosive room at that point. I think that's why he yells for Laurie to get out, and that's why Loomis stays behind to flick his bick to blow him up, because I think Loomis was sacrificing himself at the end there as well to kill Michael because he had felt responsible for everything. So yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. I wish the Shout Factory Blu-ray for Halloween 2 had an extended edition like the 78. Yeah, I kind of find that kind of weird myself, Anthony. I'm not liking this cold weather. No, and it's cold everywhere. It's especially cold here. There was no way in hell I was going outside doing this review. That's for sure. About froze my hands off and my fingertips last night when I did the 2007 Rob Zombie revisit. Yeah, Senor Sebastian Ways in Florida. They're still getting good weather. The lucky dog. 1 o'clock. Damn, well, I'm gonna head out for some sleep. Hey, I understand. I apologize, Polly. I wasn't feeling good today. Wasn't a very good day, so I got to this live stream kind of late, but thanks for stopping by, man. It's good to see you again. We missed you. Anthony's supposed to be in the 80s here tomorrow. I'm craving the cold weather. It's supposed to stay cold where I'm at. It's supposed to stay in the 40s. Yeah, it's good to see you again, Polly, man. You have a good night. Get some sleep, and we'll see you on the next stream. Jay Gregory, you should have saw the interview he did. One of the producers' least favorite sequels then was kissing the guy's ass. Oh, yeah, he's a double standard, two-faced bastard. The Myers fan is. Give me a break. God almighty. Infinite Loop, welcome to the live stream. What's up? Gonna watch passively and fall asleep to the stream. Currently 2 a.m. and I have to get up to work in the morning. Hope you feel better soon. I appreciate that, Infinite Loop. I'm feeling a little bit better. I was well enough to do this revisit of Halloween 2, 1981, which I've been telling everybody that had the best iconic Dr. Loomis lines, best script, and my favorite Halloween sequel and favorite Halloween movie in the franchise. The Myers Clout Chaser. Yeah, that's a good way. That's a good way of putting it, Anthony. Totally agree with you on that. He interviewed one of the actresses from Ends, and he hated that movie too. He changes his mind. Yeah, he's just in it for the attention and the views and the subs in his channel. He doesn't really speak his mind honestly. He's one of those Hollywood freaking dick suckers like McRae and Drum Dums, and we watch the shitheads are and all them. My favorite kill in Halloween 2 is when he kills the cop when he punched his head off. I don't remember a cop getting his head punched off in Halloween 2, but I'll take your word for it. I'm a little confused on that one, Asylum. Are you talking about the Rob Zombies Halloween 2? Because I've only seen that one time, and I do not remember that part. He didn't check in on his daughter Annie. No, and that's why Sheriff Brackett gets pretty upset about seeing Annie laying there dead on the gurney. The hammer kill. Oh, okay. Yeah, the hammer kill on the big fat security guard that looks like the Myers fan 25. That is one of my favorite scenes. That's a creepy ass scene, man, where Michael just comes out of nowhere when he's on the walkie-talkie to the dumbass nurse Karen that doesn't know how to work a walkie-talkie. I think somebody broke into the storeroom. One of you guys had better drive down to the sheriff's station right away. Turn it. Then he hears a noise. Then he goes and checks out the storage doors. Yeah, that's a skip part. I'm messing with you. My favorite kill is when he killed the nurse when he lifted her. Yes, I love that kill. I wish there would have been a kill where he punched a police officer's head off in Halloween 2, because I would have gave it a 12 out of 10. Old Asylum trying to pull the wool over the Maestro Megatron's eyes. How dare you? And you can tell DGG didn't want to ignore this movie since they put the anti-death scene and killed. Yeah. Fuck David Gordon Green. Good God. But yeah, Sheriff Brackett goes to tell his wife that Annie has died before somebody else does. And then from there on out, it's Deputy Hunt, which is one of my favorite characters. I like him even better than Sheriff Brackett. And Donald Pleasance, Dr. Loomis looking for Myers for the rest of the movie. And it's just some badass scenes, some badass dialogue between the two of them. But he had to suck it up at the empowered old hag movie. Yeah, exactly. Freaking poser ass fucking idiot. My fave kills when Michael gave the Rona booster to the bitch right in the tip. Yes, that was Nurse Karen who couldn't work the walkie-talkie when the poor fat security guard, Mr. Garrett, gets the claw part of the hammer, the claw hammer to the dome. Sounds like it's going into a basketball. It's like boom. Michelle Dawson probably was creeped out by him. Having the town is worked up. Kills would have made more sense. Halloween 2 was still continuity. I agree, Anthony. Myers fan thinks he's too rough to interview someone like Andy, but in reality, he'd probably piss his pants. Yeah, he'd probably piss his pants and he jizzed, dude, his pants. So, Infinite Loop, H2 is the most rewatchable for me. Yes, in fact, I rewatched it today. I watched it on Blu-ray last night after I was done with the live stream, and then it was on AMC today, and I watched it again. I love that movie. I love that sequel. I can watch Halloween 2 from 1981 constantly, any time of day. If he could walk, he probably would try to stalk in. Yeah, I know. That's kind of a scary thought. He's probably putting wheels on the couch so he can roll after her on the couch so his big dumb ogre ass doesn't have to get off the couch. So like I said, from there on out, it's Deputy Hunt and Donald Pleasance, Dr. Loomis, and Deputy Hunt goes, is there anything else that we can do for you? If that wasn't Michael Myers burning up in that car, then a lot of other kids are going to be slaughtered tonight. He's dead. I saw him. You saw a man in a mask. It's him. I want to believe you, but I got to be sure. Great lines, man. Asylum. In the novel of Halloween 2, Michael killed the reporter and whatever. Yeah, I do know about that. I would have loved to have seen that as well. I'll probably watch it on Halloween. Hell yeah, Infinite Loop. I'm going to watch it again probably tonight. And then Halloween Eve, which is in a few short hours. Well, actually, it's Halloween Eve now. Happy Halloween Eve, everybody. And I'll probably watch it on Halloween night as well. This is messed up, but I imagine Myers fan falling down a hill like Franklin from TCM after being caught. That ain't messed up. That's funny as shit, Baz. No, I'll give you props for that. So, same scene. Loomis goes, where'd they take the body? You know, Ben Tramer's body. Coroner's office. Get a dentist to meet me there in half an hour. So, yeah, I just so many great scenes, so many great lines, so much great dialogue in Halloween 2. It'll be my mom's birthday tomorrow. That's right, and it will also be the professor's birthday tomorrow as well. A lot of birthdays on Halloween this month. So tell your mother I said happy birthday, Mr. Chad, man. I just realized I got to work on Halloween. Jay Gregory, you are depressing me, man, with this. I am so sorry to hear that, man. That truly does suck. Sebastian, watching this back to back with 78 makes it feel like one huge Halloween movie. I do it all the time. Same here. I think of the two movies, like you said, watch back to back. It's one huge Halloween movie. I wonder if the couch or ogre can count as no. He I think he has trouble counting to 2. My grandma's birthday is also on Halloween. Damn. So that's Jay Gregory's grandmother's birthday, the professor's birthday, and Giga Chad Man's mother's birthday. Damn. A lot of birthdays on Halloween. On the special day, my favorite holiday, Halloween. You're welcome, Giga Chad Man. So, anyways, they go to the coroner's office and they're checking his teeth for fillings. There's no fillings. And another cool trivia fun fact here: the dentist that is scraping the burnt body of Ben Tramer, that is the deputy in Jaws 2. It's difficult. See, no fillings. He's 17, maybe 18. Michael Myers is 21. We gotta assume Michael Myers is still alive. Hey, Chad, what's up? Happy early birthday, Professor. If you're in here, he's probably in bed. If he stays up any later than 10 o'clock, he dies. Having a birthday on Halloween is the most luckiest thing ever, unless you got the tattoo. Exactly. Mr. Chad, good to see you. Sorry live stream's so late, but it's good to see you. Ben Tramer really was looking like some chicken. Yeah, I expected Freddie Harris, Busta Rhymes to bust in at that part and go, "Hey, Ben Tramer, looking like some chicken fried, motherfucker." 13 people in here. Everyone, please leave a like. I've been trying to tell him, Chad. No one wants to hit the like button for me. Excuse me, where's the hospital located? Oh, back in Route 17, about 3 miles. Turn this car around. I can't do that. I got orders. Those orders have changed. Dr. Loomis. Doctor, you're getting yourself into a lot of trouble. What is it you fellas usually do? Fire warning shot, right? U.S. Marshal, which is the biggest dummy in the movie, like I said, besides Alice, who lives next door to Mr. and Mrs. Elrod, peels out, turns the car around, they head to the clinic because Dr. Loomis has just discovered that Laurie Strode is Michael Myers' sister, and he's like, Jesus, don't you see what he's doing here back in Haddonfield? 15 years ago, he killed one sister, now he's here to kill the other. So he's going to the hospital to go save Laurie Strode. Yeah, I know, because 21 ain't very old at all. I hear you. I love the opening with the pumpkin splitting and you see the skull. Yes, I love that. It's my favorite opening. Part 2 is my favorite opening for any Halloween movie where it exposes the skull at the back of the jack-o'-lantern. And Part 4 is my second favorite opening to Halloween. Good looking out there, Asylum. J. Thor, we need a sequel where Steven Seagal is Loomis and he goes and slaps the shit out of mine. That would be a pretty cool scenario if Steven fat ass Seagal was Dr. Loomis. He would play it like this. He was my patient for 15 years. There was nothing left. Just had this blank expression, no emotion, and he had the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. After I shot him, where'd they take her? Well, the clinic. Excuse me, U.S. Marshal, do you know this area well? Where's the hospital located? Back on Route 17, about 3 miles. Turn this car around. I can't do that. I got orders. What is it you fellas usually do? Give a warning chop, right? And he takes his hand and chops the window out. Yeah, Steven Seagal from here on out is the one playing Dr. Loomis in Halloween 2. And this is how Steven Seagal would play it, just like this. You got me started on something, J. Thor. Maestro, you got 460 subs. Hell yeah. Now I can't believe how close we got to 500 in the span of a few weeks. Because October and November is always a good time for me on subs and on YouTube. And I am eternally grateful for that. The U.S. Marshal added orders to detain a private citizen against this will. Pretty much, I have to go to bed, but I just want to say hello and everyone. Got to work in the AM. Thanks for stopping by, Chad. Mr. Chad, it was good to see you, and we will see you tomorrow night because tomorrow night, or actually tonight, later tonight, I will be doing and I will be revisiting, re-reviewing the original Halloween from 1978, 45 years later. And Steven Seagal will play the guest, Donald Pleasance, Dr. Loomis. Sensei Seagal was Dr. Yes, this is how he played Dr. Loomis right here. After I shot him, or where'd they take the body? Coroner's office? Get a dentist to meet me there in half an hour. I'm planning on making a pumpkin skull from H2. That would be bad. If you do that, Asylum, I got to see that. Jay Thor's laughing. Is that, yeah, I'm really good at impressions, and Steven Seagal is one of my favorites to do because he's such a retard. The NECA Halloween 2 Michael, oh shit. Comes with a splitting jack-o'-lantern with the skull. Last 4 days leading up to Halloween, I like to split it open little by little. Yes, you definitely have to show us that on a video, Anthony. We should make our favorite openings the topic of a stream. That's a good idea. I think, hell, on Halloween night while I'm doing the live stream on Halloween night while I'm interviewing and getting trick-or-treaters on the live stream, that's the topic of discussion on Halloween night. That's a good idea, Baz. Jay Gregory, the Halloween theme song freaks me out the most, all the themes in the franchise. Yes, because that's when Alan Howarth joins Carpenter in the Halloween theme and the Halloween score duties. He adds the organ in the background, which makes it sound more menacing and dark to me. Jean-Claude Van Damme will play Myers then, since he didn't want to do that would be the shittiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Better yet, we can get Will Sasso to play Steven Seagal. Yes, Will Sasso does Steven Seagal a little bit better than me. So yeah, but meanwhile, I'll do it on the live stream here, and then we'll get Will Sasso to act it out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Baz. That the Halloween 4 opening is badass, and it's my second favorite. So I see why it's your favorite one. In fact, if you look carefully in the Fellowship of the Ring, you can see the Halloween to Skull and Industrialized Surgery. Really? I'm going to have to go back and check that out. Didn't the director of this do H2O or Resurrection? He did Resurrection. Yeah, I did mention that at the beginning of the stream. Rick Rosenthal did the directing. Rather than John Carpenter in this. John Carpenter still produced it and wrote it, but yeah, it was Rick Rosenthal who years later did Halloween Resurrection, and he did so well on Halloween 2 here. It's a wonder. It makes me wonder and just blows my damn mind why he couldn't have done Resurrection better, because Resurrection just not one of my favorites. Steven Seagal does look like Will Sasso, yes. Steven Seagal's a joke. Said he couldn't do the damn writing too. Yeah, well, we might have not got the Halloween sequel that we love at that point. I love playing the organ piano. I tried to play the H2 theme, but as I kept going, I felt Michael was walking up behind me. Yeah, that's definitely a good reason to stop playing the Halloween theme on organ piano. Maybe if Resurrection was completely set in the sanitarium, it would have been cool. Agreed, Baz. Instead, they had to go back to the Myers house with all the internet bullshit and the live stream. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we talked about that the other night. Anthony, well, he didn't have to deal with the Weinsteins for Halloween, too. Exactly. And that was the main freaking problem. Anthony had just said it best right there. Organ piano is creepy as hell. I totally agree, Chad, man. 100,000 freaking percent. So anyways, Dr. Loomis Segal says, after the dentist says 16, maybe 17, we have to assume that Michael Myers is still out there. Unless we get his dental records, only way to tell. That could take hours. We ain't got hours. Oh, no shit, Jay. When Paul Sorvino found out that Harvey put the moves on his daughter, he said he had known he wouldn't have killed him, but he would have spent the rest of his life in a wheelchair. Yeah, I remember that. That's a good topic right there, Anthony. Anthony forgot about them. They probably were dog humping his leg on everything. Yeah, no shit. Just like he did Rob Zombie, too. So after that, they go to the Myers house, and like Steven Seagal said, one of their numbers have been butchered. This is a wake. And let me tell you something. When these people throw rocks at this house, these people mean business. I'm getting ready to go up there and start throwing chops at the Myers house, because this is a wake. Asylum. Am I the only one? I wish that the way they have the cool cinematography, like in The Kills flashback, for example, was in real life the way it looked. Yes. No, I totally agree with you, man. That That would have been 10 times better if they kept it that way. Jay Thor, I'm pissed with Carpenter. He totally sold out on giving his blessing on the pile hobo dung, aka the DGG trilogy. Yes, for years he went around talking shit about sequels only to praise shit dick end. Yeah, cokehead Carpenter is either going senile or slipping into senility and dementia, and he's still doing his cocaine, so his brain is basically fried. And if Dr. Stephen Loomis, Dr. Steven Seagal Loomis found John Carpenter, he would chop his head off with his damn hand. I was the same way, Bass. When the moment he said he hated this sequel, I was done with Carpenter. I'm like, yeah, cokehead, snort another rail, you piece of shit. The sheriff will be Jesse Ventura since he's a real. Oh, okay. So instead of Hunter Von Lear being Deputy Hunt, it's now Jesse Ventura. So we'll get a lot of one of their number was butchered. This is awake. So Jesse Ventura gets on the rail. So let me tell you, I need another car here, the old Myers house. Yeah, McMahon. Yeah, McMahon. Get another car here, McMahon. And yeah, 35 Lincoln Lane. You know what, Seagal? I'm Deputy Ventura. Haddonfield was a quiet town before this happened tonight. Only gunshot you ever heard was me and McMahon started firing the gun to start the local track meet at the wrestling in WWF. What, of course, was Dr. Steven Seagal's pay? Oh, God, Jesus. Sebastian's laughing his ass off. So, yeah, you got two retards teaming up for Halloween 2 at this point. You got Steven Seagal, and then you got Jesse Ventura. Yeah, the old Myers house. Bring another car. Let me tell you something, McMahon. Excuse me, I'm Dr. Steven Seagal Loomis. Whatever, McMahon. I personally don't want to meet John Carpenter. The guy's just a complete dick. Totally agree with the Asylum. I don't want to. He's one of the few that I haven't met yet out of this whole thing, and I don't want to meet him because I don't want to meet Jamie Lee Curtis either because I ain't going to have good shit to say. He says he was drunk making the script. Yeah, he claimed he drank a 6-pack of Budweiser a night, but I'm sorry. It's a great sequel. The writing in it is great. So shut the hell up, John Cokehead Carpenter. Anthony's cracking up. He should drink more than because it wasn't bad to me. Right. Yeah, he should have just kept on drinking. Another one I wouldn't want to meet is who, Steven? You wouldn't want to meet Steven Seagal. Why? Because I would tell you a big fat lie. Because Steven Seagal lies all the time. Yeah, and then Jesse Ventura lies all the time, too. Jesse Ventura turns to Dr. Steven Seagal Loomis and says, hey, don't tell me you don't have 6 more bullets in that gun. Dr. Steven Seagal Loomis, I was a frogman down in Bogota. I live in the bayou. He switched to Coke, so taste changed. Tommy Lee Wallace, I'm interested on meeting him. That would be a good meet and greet right there. Asylum. Stephen King, I wouldn't want to meet. Yes, because he hates America. He hates our military. He's so anti-American, it's not even funny. So, yeah, fuck you, Stephen King, even though you're an author genius. Don't tell me you don't have 6 more bullets in your gun, Stephen. I was a frogman, so were you down in Bogota. Don't make me ask McMahon. God almighty. This is turning into a circus. This is turning into a circus, McMahon. So anyways, what do you got back? John is a jackass. Yeah, according to Sean Clark, at age 45, he didn't want to give anyone autographs, even behind the stage. He took his coke money and ran. I believe that 100%, Baz. Who is better, Stephen King or John Carpenter? John Carpenter for directing, Stephen King for writing. Hulk Hogan is the U.S. Oh, shit. Let me tell you something, brother. Before I became the U.S. Marshal here, and I'm transporting you Back to Smith's Grove, brother. I played bass for Metallica. I actually turned down Metallica, brother. When I was supposed to be wrestling back then, Metallica wanted me to play bass for him, brother. And that's no lie. I used to wrestle 465 days a year, brother. Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. I'm not Mean Gene. I'm Dr. Steven Seagal Loomis. Whoever you are, brother. I was also going to be running for president, too, brother. I agree. Besides the coke and the woke, they have potential. Let me tell you something, brother. Nobody touches that. Let me. Hey, there's a two-way radio out in the marshal's car. Get on it, get that radio, and call for help. Wait a minute, brother. I'm the only one that's authorized to touch that fucking radio, brother. Move. Get away from him. But he stopped breathing, brother. No. But Hulk Hogan, the U.S. Marshal's dead. Relax, brother. I'm taking you back to Smith's Grove, brother. Let me tell you something, brother. If I ever run into Michael Myers, which I did, I'll get my throat slit, brother. Brother. What does Seagal look like an Eskimo who ate everyone out of their house in the igloo? That's because he probably ate all the Eskimos, J. Thor. Big old fat ass Steven Seagal. Get out now, brother. This whole hospital's about to go 30 miles, brother. Let me tell you something, brother. As soon as I flick this bic, brother, this hospital's gonna go up. It's gonna go sky high, brother. Let me tell you the time that I played for Metallica, brother. The death is different in the TV version. Yes. Yeah, I don't like the TV version's death, Asylum. I'm glad you brought that up. Shawn Michaels would be Laurie Strode. Oh, good God. Oh, Lord, Chad, man. The 21-inch pythons are not going to run wild over Michael. Nope. His 18-inch neck ran wild with the scalpel. Actually, the stick with an eraser glued to it. Stephen King reminds me of a vicious creature. Absolutely, Asylum, I agree. Who's the bigger douche, Carpenter or Moran? Carpenter. Well, I don't know. Depends. Carpenter, if he's got a full 8-ball of coke in him, and Tony Moran, if Carpenter's actually sober that day. In the TV version, Michael stands up the U.S. Marshal, and it shows Loomis firing a shot and accidentally hits the U.S. Marshal. It's stupid. I hate the TV version death of it. Because it makes Dr. Loomis look like a murderer now. So no TV version. I didn't mean to kill the U.S. Marshal, but he was in the way of Michael. By the way, Lori, I'm sorry I left you. Are you all right? Moran was accurate about JLC. Yes, he was totally accurate about JLC. That's why I got a little bit of respect for Tony Moran. I need to check it out. No one ever mentions that. Yeah, the death is totally different of the U.S. Marshal in the TV version. Yeah, that's something Jay's Loomis would do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Good God. His Loomis impersonation is so freaking terrible. Here I am doing the real Loomis, and here I am doing Steven Seagal's Loomis. Tell me who does the better impressions. He lays the gun down at Laurie's feet when they're locked into the surgery room. Here, take it. Take it. Get out. Get out. Get out now. What he said about Taylor Mayne, though, yeah, that was kind of shitty. I know what you're talking about, Asylum. Some of those interviews with Tony Moran, those things are fucked up. Actually, the gun would fly out of Jay Loomis' in a hand, and he would accidentally shoot himself in the face. One could only hope. One could only hope, Anton. Hope you guys enjoy the Halloween decor behind me. The ending is way better in the on Halloween 2 on the theatrical version than the TV version. Thank you for that, Asylum. I appreciate that. I take that as a compliment. I'm good at impressions anyways. When I do stand-up comedy, I do a lot of impressions, and Steven Seagal just happens to be one of them. So you guys are in luck. Tony Moran said he was sorry, but they went on live trashing Sean Clark and all the cast again. Are you freaking serious? Tony Moran just sounds like he's a. Nobody thinks of him as Michael as they do Nick Castle. You're probably right. The jack-o'-lantern, yes. Yes, Dr. Steven Seagal Loomis has a jack-o'-lantern in the background as I'm telling the tale of Halloween 2, 1981, 42 years later. I really didn't blow up Michael with me in it. I actually chopped Michael down with my hand Aikido chops because I have 15,000 black belts in Aikido. I actually practiced Aikido over in the Orient land somehow during World War II, but I'm still under 70 years old, which is another lie that comes out of Steven Seagal Loomis's mouth. Jay Thor, my show should play Loomis in a new film. You can go and strangle mine. That would be bad. You know what? If I do a Halloween fan film, I will play Dr. Loomis, and I'm going to strangle the shit out of Myers. Bastion, either he's dumb or has an alcohol tolerance of a teenage girl. Tony Moran and Warrington Gillette are out of the same cloth. Yeah, because Warrington Gillette doesn't have anything good to say. Well, Warrington Gillette was the pussy that didn't want to do his own stunts. That's why they brought Steve Dash in at the at the ending part, the last parts of part 2, Friday the 13th part 2. Oh, the Corey Cut. Oh, good God. Don't even say that son of a bitch's name out loud. Let's just keep it together. Yes, Maestro, he had a girl on there, and he kept filming her. You know what, on stream, did you see those oh, shit, I guess I missed that. In the comic book, they do a cat and mouse thing with Michael messing with Loomis, giving him clues. No shit. Which comic book is that, man? I'd like to see that. Yeah, Warrington Gillette, who plays Baghead Jason for a lot of the movie, didn't do the ending part, the chase scenes, because he didn't want to do all the stunts. He was being a big pussy about it. So that's when they brought in Steve Dash to do the ending chase scenes with Amy Steele. And Steve Dash gets full credentials for playing Baghead Jason in part 2 now, because Warrington Gillette was such a bitch about it. Moran has had a lot of issues in his life, especially whenever with everything his sister. I kind of feel bad for him. I didn't know too much about that one. Jay Thor, these actors need to own their roles. It makes their careers without fans or nobody. Same with JLC. Totally freaking agree. That's why she's the most disrespectful, classless whore in Hollywood. Well, in the Hollywood franchise, Halloween franchise. That's why Steve Dash always said he was the real Jason, because he did all the Yep. In all the interviews, Steve Dash says the real Jason, because Warrington Gillette bitched out of the stunts. Stupid freaking pussy. Yes, good job on that one, Jay Gregory. R.I.P. Rest in peace, Steve Dash. So we've lost 3 Jasons, I believe. Steve Dash, Ted White passed away, and Richard Brooker. Part 3. And none of the other Jason actors took yes. Was him saying he was the real Jason because they knew what he was talking about. Absolutely, Anton. Good point. Didn't Steve Dash cut his finger too? Yeah, the part where he's holding the miner's axe in the room where his mother's head is sitting. The room where his mother's head is sitting in, and Amy Steele, which is my favorite final girl in any horror movie, by the way, is acting like his mother. She goes to raise the machete and comes down and gets blocked by the miner's axe that Steve Dash is holding. Baghead Jason that accidentally cut Steve Dash's finger off. But he went to the hospital, got it sewn back on, and finished the movie. So yeah, Steve Dash is the real Jason in part 2. It was the Halloween 30 Years of Terror comic book. Oh, no shit. Man, I'm going to look that up on YouTube. Asylum. It's hilarious that he went to the emergency room with the prop machete still in his shoulder. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's some good trivia information about F-13. Yeah, after Halloween here, God, I don't want it to go, but we're going to start doing some F-13 talks. Favorite masks, favorite people that play Jason, favorite Friday F-13 movies. God forbid if we lose Kane Hunter, I will lose my shit. Me too, Jay. Me too. So yeah, Halloween 2, 1981, my favorite sequel in the franchise, and the way it ends. Steven Seagal stays behind, tells Laurie Strode to get out now. And then he looks at Michael, who's been shot in both eyes by Laurie Strode, who's never fired a gun before. Flicks the bic, he says, "It's time, Michael." And while Lori is taking cover behind, looks like a gown cart in the hospital, she looks back to see Michael Myers in a fire suit walking out of the fire. And she's like, "Holy shit, I can't believe he's still alive." That part, when I first saw it as a kid, made me shit my pants. I was like, I can't believe he's on fire and he's walking the hell out of there. Then he finally falls to the ground. I don't want to lose Nick Castle either. I forgive him for the part and shit Dick ends. That's about it. Chelsea wears 3 masks to protect her mirror from her face. Yeah. God, I can only imagine J. Thor. I am thinking of going to age 50, but most actors will probably be gone by then. Charles Cyphers Charles Cyphers is unfortunately looks bad and is in poor health, but long live Charles Cyphers, long live Sheriff Brackett. I think she missed out, Michael, just seeing how ugly JLC was on the inside and his eyes started bleeding. Yeah, I think that's really, I don't think it was the bullets that made his eyes bleed like that. He saw the true ugliness of Jamie Lee Curtis's face. Was the worst Jason mask in your opinion? I like the movie, but I'm going to go ahead and say this. The worst mask to me in the Jason franchise is Jason X. I like the movie. It's a good, fun film, him being up in space, but I hated the mask in it. I like the Uber mask when he becomes Uber Jason at the end, but the mask he wears throughout the whole movie, I didn't like that mask. J. Thor said it doesn't protect. What? Are you nuts, J. Thor? This is TV and martial arts movie, Steven Seagal. You better take that back right now, or I will chop you. Infinite Loop might also have been the wig. Yeah, that's a terrible wig that they got Jamie Lee Curtis wearing in Halloween 2, because like we talked about before, Jamie Lee Curtis's hair was already cut short. It was short in The Fog. It was short in Prom Night. It was short in Terror Train. So she wore that stupid, horrible wig because it's based in the same night as the original Halloween. So he saw on how bad her wig. Yeah, fun fact, Dick Warlock burned his forearm while he was walking out of the fire. I think I did hear about that, Jay Gregory, and that is a good fun fact because I love Dick Warlock. Again, Dick Warlock's my favorite shape. My favorite Michael Myers. Worst mask is definitely Jason X. Hated that stumped in. Yes, that's exactly what I was referring to, Baz. That stumped in nose in the hockey mask in Jason X. Just freaking horrible. I'm glad you brought that up. The fact that somebody wanted to go to prom with Jazz. Yeah, that movie sucks anyways. Michael's hair looks better. Yeah. Michael's hair on the mask looks better than JLC's wig. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Asylum. Yeah, how big that. Yeah, I can't. I hated the mask in Jason X. Could not freaking stand it. Like I said, good fun popcorn movie to watch. Very unrealistic, but it's a good fun Friday the 13th to watch. One customs version of the Jason X mask looks better. I'll have to check that out, Asylum. But yeah, there you go. Halloween 2 from 1981, 42 years later. We covered some of the most iconic lines in it. We all agree that it's one of the best continuity storylines in the Halloween franchise. It's one of the best. It's my favorite sequel. In my opinion, I think it's the best sequel, but I love the story. I love how it takes place in the same night. They did it really, really freaking great. I love Dick Warlock. I love Deputy Hunt's character, Hunter Von Leer. I love Sheriff Brackett's small part. Still can't stand JLC. All the new characters they introduced, like Bud and Jimmy, Leo Rossi and Lance Guest, and Dr. Mixture, the drunk doctor at the hospital, Nurse Karen. Bud's girlfriend's name, the one nurse, I can't remember her name. Her name's Karen, and then you got Karen, you got Janet, and then a short blonde hair girl. I can't remember her name, but But yeah, good cast of characters in Halloween 2. Thankfully, it's easier to get the hockey mask right compared to Michael's Hope, the TV series does. Yeah, I do too. When they finally do come out with a TV series for Halloween, I hope they do the mask justice. Holy shitballs. Slammo Sammo has joined the live stream. Welcome, Slammo Sammo. I'm out, everyone. Have a good night. Enjoy your Halloween shenanigans. Thanks, Jay Thor, for coming to the live stream. We appreciate you, man, and it's always a pleasure when you join us. And we will see you tomorrow night when we do the original Halloween from 1978, 45 years later. We will talk and discuss it and review it. The makeup of Jason X was lazy. It looked like Kane was just wearing a mask over. Yeah, it was very, very freaking lazy. I agree, Asylum. Yeah, I was about to bring that up and you beat me to it. But yeah, you're right. Slammo Sammo. It's so good to see you. Thank you for the jack-o'-lanterns in the heart. So we got the two siblings on the live stream now. Sorry it's so late, but like I was telling everybody at the beginning of the stream, I wasn't feeling very good today, so I slept most of the day and took a lot of pain pills and muscle relaxers, but I feel a lot better now. Slammo Sammo. Silently try to cover it up with the fact that he can regenerate. Oh, that's right. I didn't really look at it that way. You're right about that. Yeah, good looking out there, Baz. Good comment. Uber Jason is underrated. Totally underrated because that son of a bitch could beat anybody. He could beat any Myers. He could beat any other Jason. He could beat Freddy. He could beat Leatherface. He could beat any other horror franchise monster in any movie is the Uber Jason. Thank you, Slammo Sammo. I appreciate that. I was feeling pretty puny. Still getting over my conditions from being in the hospital for 3 weeks, but it's just taking some time. But I feel a lot better. Thank you, Anthony, for the jack-o'-lanterns and the very large kitchen knife. Actually, tonight it's jack-o'-lanterns that Anthony gave me, and it's the Mr. and Mrs. Elrod knife that he stole from the cutting board where Mrs. Elrod was making the ham sandwich. By the way, you guys want mayonnaise on your sandwich? How about mustard? Sebastian, are you asleep again? The infinite number of tall men and sentinel spears would eventually wear Rubber Jason down. You think so, huh? Okay. I don't know. Uber Jason, man, he was indestructible. The Savini Jason does look bad. That's some of my favorite Jasons. Is the Savini Jason. I love Steve Dash. I love the Baghead Jason, but I love Richard Brooker as Jason. I love the look, and I love Ted White as Jason in Final Chapter. Wasn't a big fan of. I like Tom Morgan, but wasn't a big fan of New Beginnings Jason because wearing the coveralls like Michael with a hockey mask just didn't mix well with me. Oh, you're talking about the Savini in the game? Yeah, you're exactly right. 4-time world champion. Kane Hodder. Yes, Kane Hodder is probably one of the most famous and most popular Jasons in the F-13 franchise. So I totally agree with you there, 4-time. He wasn't the tallest Jason. He wasn't as tall as Richard Brooker or Ted White and all them. But Kane Hodder was bigger. What are we talking about? I'm zoning out. We were revisiting Halloween 2 from 1981, 42 years later. Now we're talking about F-13 and all the different Jasons and all the different hockey masks. I prefer Jason looking zombie-ish. It made him horrifying more than Michael sometimes. Yes, especially in part 6 when he comes out as zombie Jason out of the grave. That's one of my favorite looks, and that is played by the great C.J. Graham, 6'3", huge ex-Marine playing Jason in part 6, Jason Lives. Kane Hodder did play Michael. He was about 6'2". Yeah, you're pretty accurate on that 4-time. Yeah, Kane Hodder was about 6'1.5", pushed probably 6'2" with the boots and the costume and all the makeup and stuff. But he was still quite a bit shorter because Richard Brooker was 6'3.5" to 6'4". Ted White was like 6'4", 6'4.5". C.J. Graham was 6'3", big ex-Marine. I used to be a Kane Hunter fan, but I prefer a more agile Jason like CJ Graham and Derek Mears. Yes, Derek Mears. Yeah, I love CJ Graham's my favorite Jason, by the way. And it's my favorite Friday the 13th movie, part 6, Jason Lives. But Derek Mears was very agile as Jason, and he did a freaking great job in the Friday the 13th reboot. Yeah, Final Chapter is a super great freaking F-13 sequel, man. And the guys, 4 times his favorite and claims to be the best is part 4. Yeah, Ted White played him in part 4. Ted White was freaking huge, and he actually ran too. CJ Graham had to stop his muscle memory because he learned into aiming when to grow the spear, which carefully you can see him stop. Yeah, yeah. The part in the Volkswagen, the 2 counselors after Bonehead gets out of the car with his little pea shooter and gets flung over his head by the spear. He almost hits the actress in the Volkswagen. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Derek's version of Jason is the real Jason. I can agree with that, Asylum. I'll give you that. I'll give you some points for that. CJ Graham was popping down from trees like Spider-Man. Yeah, he was, man. The people, the executives out of the office playing the paintball game. He was leaping out of trees and decapitating 3 people at the same time. Favorite kill by Jason. My favorite kill in Jason is in part 6, Jason Lives, where he takes Darcy DeMoss, the actress who played in Can't Buy Me Love in the Winnebago. He takes her head and crushes it into the wall, and you see the implant of her face in the wall of the Winnebago. That's my favorite kill ever in Friday the 13th. That is a badass kill. I almost cried when Jason was floating towards the other shuttle after the first one blew up and Jason did. Yeah, no shit. I was like, holy shit, he's still alive. And then Bronsky pops out of nowhere and tackles him up in space. Why are people main negative that Jason runs in the movie? I don't know. I love Richard Brooker ran a little, Steve Dash ran a little bit as Baghead Jason. Ted White ran a little bit in Final Chapter. I love it. I love Jason running, man. Makes him that much more terrifying. Yes, Polly did return. Yes. Samo got her little detective monocle on her emoji. And yes, Polly came back and he was acting pretty decent. Jason was my son. Jason was my son. Today is his birthday. The counselors, they weren't paying attention. He wasn't a very good swimmer. We can go now, dear. First Friday the 13th, one of my all-time favorites. I know it doesn't have Jason in it. It has Betsy Palmer as Mrs. Voorhees, but there's some great lines and some great kills in that one, too, in the first original Jason. There was an explosive cooler on top of the Winnebago that was producing in one light. He was supposed to get it, so it was accidentally left on the Winnebago when they wrecked it. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I'm picturing that scene in my head, and I see what you're talking about, Anthony. When I saw Jason run for the first time in the remake, I screamed in the thing. Yeah, because that's the last thing you want is big-ass Jason with the hockey mask running after you. It's one thing to have Myers behind you just walking slowly, but big-ass Jason, 6'4" Jason chasing you, running full speed, make you shit your pants. Jay Gregory, sorry, got that one. Am I the only one that thought that Pam's head in Friday the 13th was a coconut? My head was a coconut. They should have never reopened this camp. The counselors, I was cooking that day. The counselors, they should have been paying attention. Jason, well, he wasn't a very good swimmer. Or she could have Big Jason, Tyler Mane, Michael Rennie. Oh, good God. Tyler Mane as Jason would be freaking terrifying. Ken Kersinger, who played Jason in Freddy vs. Jason, he was 6'5", and that was terrifying enough. Yeah, he was 6'5", pushing 6'6", but Tyler Mane, who's 6'7", with the boots on and the costume and all that, that would make him close to 7 foot, man. If not 7 foot. Asylum, did you like the Baghead or hockey mask version? I liked the original Baghead in the original Friday the 13th Part 2, but I like the hockey mask better in the remake. Yeah, Yes, Rachel J. I am still Steven Seagal. Welcome to the live stream, Rachel J. The Maestro Megatron is no longer here. Steven Seagal is now doing the live stream. And guys, I want to say welcome. Thank you for joining Steven Seagal here on the live stream. Yes, Rachel J. I'm still doing impressions. If you don't mind, I'm Steven Seagal. I used to be married to the very beautiful Kelly LeBrock, but she dumped me because I'm a maniac. So now I'm on a dating site, and make sure this dating site hooks me up with a real pretty woman like Kelly LeBrock was, because there's some really ugly women out there, and Steven Seagal doesn't want an ugly woman. There you go. Popular Man Entertainment's laughing his ass off. I would think Jason was inbred. Take a look at the guy. Tyler is perfect as Jason. I agree. Tyler Main is taller than Derek Mears. Yeah, Derek Mears was 6'4". Tyler Main 6'7". I think Jason's inbred. 4-time. Popular Man Entertainment is laughing his ass off at Steven Seagal on the live stream. I know you're not laughing at Steven Seagal. I will do a Aikido chop right to the base of your skull and put you to sleep for about 5 hours, because I'm Steven Seagal and I'm a big fat ass. But I think I could still beat people up in martial arts. Rachel J's here. It's good to see her. Steven Seagal, Sheriff Garrett. You are damn lucky. The next time I catch you around here, Camp 4 Screen, I'm going to personally cut your balls off and wear them as earrings. You are now leaving Camp 4 Screen. Don't forget to buckle up. Yeah, there's Sheriff Garrett. There's Steven Seagal as Sheriff Garrett. I wish we could have saw Sackhead Jason in a remake a little more. Me too, Jay. I totally agree. 4-time. No, that's Leatherface. Yeah, exactly. I wonder if Kane will play Jason again, since he still got it. I hope so. Popular Man Entertainment still laughing. He's still laughing at Steven Seagal, who is now Sheriff Garrett. Sorry, Sheriff Garris in Friday the 13th, Part 6. Either you lay down and get some sleep, or I'm going to come in there and karate chop you out. You're going to be sorry, Sheriff. You're going to be sorry if you don't shut up. I'm Steven Seagal, Sheriff Garris. Asylum, that axe throw in the remake was bad. That's one of my favorite parts in the remake and the reboot of Friday the 13th. Slammo Sammo is just mortified. The hockey mask might be more iconic, but I think the sack hit is scarier. I agree, Anthony. I'd rather see Derek Mears come back. He's my fave. Derek Mears would definitely come back. He has expressed it a lot, too, by the way. There are 2 different scenes where Jason finds his hockey mask. Yeah, once in Part 3 and then once in the reboot. Or are you talking about in the reboot? There was like maybe a deleted scene that I didn't know about Asylum. Sebastian, I'm aware you didn't say nothing new. Yeah, this live stream has gotten totally out of control. You guys at first were listening to the Maestro Megatron. Now you're listening to Steven Seagal in the remake. Okay, yeah, I did. I've only seen the one part in the theatrical version, I guess. I'll have to check out the other part where he finds his hockey mask. So Jason was pissed off about that axe throw. Dude, that goalie was pissed about something. I do like the Friday the 13th reboot. I like Jared Padalecki in it from Supernatural, and I like the girl that was with Adam Van Winkle's character. But I hated... I couldn't stand the cast of characters that was in the reboot. They were fucking stupid as hell. The other scene where he gets his mask is just the deleted scene. Okay, I'm still going to check it out, though. I'm curious. Asylum, you're not going to go swimming with that Jason walking around? Well, I mean, it could work for the best. Asylum. Maybe Jason won't be around at the time you try to go skinny dipping in the lake. Have you heard of the review spot? I have not. Steven Seagal hasn't heard about that. Steven Seagal only knows about one thing, and that's Steven Seagal in my Aikido chop. I remember hearing somewhere Pamela was violated by someone else to create Jason. I could be wrong. I've heard those tales too, and that's why Jason turned out deformed or defunct and like basically part wild animal and shit like that. So I've also heard that as well. Been a pretty crazy live stream, guys. I'm glad we got Halloween 2, 42 years later, re-review and revisit out of the way. So now you get Steven Seagal as Sheriff Garrison, Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. I can't believe Tommy Jarvis dug up Jason after all these years, but Jason's just a legend. That's what I tell Jennifer Cook, my daughter, the blonde, in Friday the 13th, Part 6, why I'm trying to grope her. Because Steven Seagal's a groper. I'm familiar with the review spot. His reviews a lot. I figured, oh, okay. They might do the Elias Voorhees story in the Peacock show as well. I hope they do. They've been talking about that for a long time. Have you seen Friday the 13th Vengeance yet? Yes, I have seen that. And it's okay. Jay Gregory, there's a deleted or edited version of Jason's death when he was being choked by the chain. We can hear him choking. I'll have to check that out, too. I'm going to check out all these deleted scenes. Yes, in fact, for time, you're new to the channel, hopefully a new sub. I've been revisiting and reviewing all the Halloween movies and sequels. Tomorrow night, I will be revisiting Halloween 1978, the original 45. I might have chopped the inner line. Jason did look cool in the Vengeance movie, yes. CJ was great as Jason's father. Yes, I did. Yeah, I did appreciate that. CJ Graham did a good job as Elias Voorhees. Freddy movies would be rough to go through all of them. Yeah. See, I know Jason Goes to Hell was 9, and there was Jason X, and then Freddy versus Jason. I don't know if anybody includes that or not. That would be Jason. That would be Friday the 13th, 11. So after the Friday the 13th reboot, there'd be 12 movies. Yeah, you saw that? Yeah, I didn't repeat that. I didn't repeat that on the live stream, even though Steven Seagal's not scared of anyone. Slammo Samo. Steven Seagal's Aikido chop will protect you, Slammo Samo. Should I have had 20 by now? Yeah, no shit. So not counting Freddy versus Jason, there's 11 Friday movies, okay? 12 if you count Freddy versus Jason. Yeah, they need yeah, and that's been the rumor for years, even when I was a kid, decades ago, eons ago, is they were going to make 13 different sequels. Slammo Samo, relax, you're in good hands with Allstate. That's Allstate stand. Slammo Samo's cracking me up. You guys are at. But this was my funnest live stream of revisiting Halloween was for H2 1981. Slammo Samo. I think Jason and Friday Vengeance might be more accurate to how Jason would have looked in the movie Part 7. I'm gonna agree with you on that one. Yeah, he did have a kick-ass look in that asylum. Crazy that Jason drowned the same year Michael Myers was born. Yeah, if you've ever noticed that, Jay Gregory is exactly correct on that. Looks like a walk in a... God almighty. Anthony's going to revisit The Crow later. Hell yeah, you going to make a video of it on your channel, Anthony? Because if so, I'll take a look at it. That's funny. Full-time, don't bully him like that. In Part 7, they put the damage from the propeller on the wrong side of the mask, and they left the bullet holes out. Yeah, but it's still one of my favorite looks of Jason in Part 7. My favorite look is Part 6, of course, Jason Lives, but second favorite is definitely Part 7. Yes, I love The Shining. Yes, 1980s Stanley Kubrick Shining. Yes, Jack Nicholson is badass in that movie. Jack Nicholson acted his ass off in that movie. Yes, that it's freaky. It's good. Love that movie. That is a good classic horror movie. Here's Johnny. Wendy, I'm home. It so happens I've got two 20s at a 10 in my wallet. So just keep the whiskey coming, Grady. The continuity is more accurate on Vengeance Mask. Totally agree. Wendy, I said I'm not. Wendy, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to bash your brains in. Give me the bat, Wendy. Stop swinging the bat. Give me the bat. Stop swinging the bat. Wendy, give me the bat. Stop swinging the bat. Great scene. Great freaking scene. I wouldn't lay a hand on a little bastard's head. Ghost Jason Mask is your favorite. I still need to see The Shining. I saw a little bit on the airplane. Yeah, watch the whole thing, Baz. You'll like it. I'm actually excited to start my new job, so I might not even GTS early since I don't work till noon. Yeah, you'll be able to get some good sleep when you work night shift. Anyways, guys, I'm about to get off the live stream myself. I might be going to bed myself, but yeah, this has been another good live stream talking about Halloween 2, 1980. It wasn't me, it was my neighbor. Talking about Halloween 2, 1981, 42 years later. I'm not the biggest fan of Shining. I really don't like how they changed Jack from the... But the TV miniseries Shining, where Steven Weber played him, was more like the Jack in the book, but... They just did that because they were showcasing Jack Nicholson, basically. So, but tune in later on tonight because tomorrow is today. Tune in later on tonight, and we are going to do our last revisit of the Halloween franchise, and it will be Halloween 1978, 45 years later. Oh, I forgot to give you my number rating for Halloween 2, 42 years later. Back then when I was a kid, I gave it a 10 out of a 10, and to this very day, I give Halloween 2, 1981, 42 years later, a 10 out of a 10. Peace out to you as well, 4-time. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later on tonight. Take care, Mr. H. You have a good one. Always a pleasure when you're on here. Infinite Loop, you have a good night as well. Night I'll get in my fun facts Halloween 78. Can't wait, Jay Gregory. You got some good trivia facts. I wish we can get a remake of miniseries, production value and budget, right, Anthony? I wish they played Halloween 2 at my theater. I would definitely go see it if it came to the theater. Sebastian gives it a 10 out of 10 as well. 1, 2, 4 are all 10 out of 10. Hell yeah. Asylum, I give it a 9 out of 10. Whoops, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. He went back on that one. Giga Chad, man, thank you for the trophy. Thanks for stopping by. Actually not tomorrow, but tonight. Halloween tonight. Tomorrow is tonight. Yes, I'll be live streaming. I will be doing Halloween 1978, 45 years later. You have a good night as well, Samo. Love you, kid. Love you too, Sebastian. Love all you guys. Chad, man, Anthony, Jay Gregory, Asylum. You guys are all my peeps. You're all family. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Jamie Lee pissed me off in the second. Yeah, she is played her rather annoying self. All right, can't wait. Have a good night, bro. Love you too, man. Love all you guys. Like I said, you guys are my family on the live stream here, and I will see you later on tonight for Halloween 1978, 5 years later. You guys have a good night, sweet dreams, and happy nightmares.